Srimad Bhagavatam, 5th canto, chapter 16, text, the description of VVPr, text 2 to 3. Om Jnanati Mirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Jayapata Kaswamaniti Namani. Namo Acharya Padaya Natayakpa Pradane Gaurakata Tamadayana Karganamatarini. Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namani. Namaste Sarasdevi Gauravani Charani Nirvishesha Shunivadi Pachate Tistarani. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Guru Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. My dear Lord, the rolling wheels of Maharaja Prevrata's chariot created 7 ditches in which the 7 oceans came into existence. Because of these 7 oceans, Bhumandala is divided into 7 islands. You have given a very general description of their measurement, names and characteristics. Now I wish to know of them in detail. Kindly fulfill my desire. When the mind is fixed upon the Supreme Personality of Godhead in his external feature, made of the material modes of nature, the gross universal form, it is brought to the platform of pure goodness. In that transcendental position, one can understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead Vasudeva, who in his subtler form is self-effulgent and beyond the modes of nature. O my Lord, please describe vividly how that form which covers the entire universe is perceived. Now, yesterday's class, due to technical hitches, the audio files were clipped. I don't know why. I'm trying different things today. I hope there is not much clipping. In the beginning, there was. I repeated some of it. Now I'm trying to record it offline, and hopefully it will not clip today. Let's see. So yesterday I was describing why is this geographical knowledge given in Srimad Bhagavatam. So in today's verse we understand it is from Srila Prabhupada that because this description of the universe is about Krishna, this is his universal form, namely all these planets and stars and everything are all actually the material energy of Krishna. Therefore, Parikshit Maharaja was, when he was asking for the description of this material universe, he was thinking of the material universe as a form of Krishna. And that is why he asked that question. Now, this knowledge actually tests us, because it seems fantastic that there are mountains which are thousands of miles high, there are planets which are thousands of miles wide, and then there is one chariot which was pulled by Maharaja Prevrata. Those rolling wheels created 7 ditches, and into these ditches the oceans came, and these oceans are made out of ghee and milk and honey and so on. All this seems fantastic. So what will happen? If we do not have faith in Sukadeva Goswami, in Vyasadeva, in all the previous acharyas, and in Srila Prabhupada, who are giving us these descriptions as it is, without telling us it is mythology, without telling us it is imagination. So then we are tested. Are we going to accept this, or are we going to say that, no, I do not accept it, and then become an impersonalist? This is a test of bhakti, of our faith, of our trust in the parampara. There was one devotee who did not trust Srila Prabhupada when he said, when men were supposed to have landed on the moon, he said, what is the big deal about this? First of all, I don't believe that they would have landed on the moon, because the moon planet, according to Bhagavatam, is very far away and away from the sun, and you cannot enter it without being allowed by the ruler of the moon. So this person kept on saying that he didn't believe it. Then Srila Prabhupada said that even if they actually landed on the moon planet, so what? What is the big deal about it? Easily, we can make easy journeys to other planets using yoga. So, most of the disciples of Srila Prabhupada, they accepted whatever Srila Prabhupada said. But this particular disciple, obviously, he didn't have that much trust and he left Krishna consciousness. So, when we read these fantastic descriptions which seem completely unreasonable, if we have faith, then we will continue accepting it. And then, if we accept this with faith, then the world of Krishna consciousness opens to us, and then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, we have passed one more test, and Krishna will be very happy, and slowly he will give us more and more Krishna Prema. The mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is that he gives us Krishna Prema, but we need to have faith. So these descriptions are a test, and I'll give you some ways in which you can think of this. That first of all, there are more things on heaven on earth than are imagined in our philosophy, as someone said in Shakespeare's Hamlet. So we cannot imagine. For example, can you imagine that in the hot desert sand, the sand is made out of silicon dioxide, that from this sand you can have sweet juices coming out? We'll say, what nonsense, how will you have sweet juices coming out of sand? Well, haven't you seen the date palms which are growing in the sand? And haven't you seen the date palms giving the date fruit? And from the date fruit, haven't you seen that the date fruit is so sweet and juicy? And even when it is dried, it is sweet and juicy. So from sand, we can get juice. So in this description, it is said that there were different kinds of trees, and each tree, one tree gave milk, one tree gave honey, and so on. So all this is possible. So it's just that our science, our knowledge is so limited that we do not know how this is possible. So we should just accept that we are like a frog in the well with very little knowledge. There is much more to learn. Like I read today that one rich Russian millionaire is spending $100 million along with his atheistic and rascal scientist Stephen Hawking, who wants to hear if there is any life elsewhere in the universe. So it will be a good surprise if Krishna smashes them and they hear Bhagavatam coming into their system and they understand that whatever they thought so long was wrong. But let us see what happens. But anyway, we must accept these descriptions as they are. That is the first lesson. From today's verses, then we learn about the 7 ditches and the 7 oceans which are in concentric circles. If you read Sadhupata Prabhu's book on Vedic astronomy, we can understand, he has given his explanation. Because Srila Prabhupada, he told them, you must build a planetarium based on these descriptions. So the devotee said, we don't know how to do it. You tell us. He said, I can't understand this. This science is too complicated for me. You scientists are there. So he has his scientist disciples, Sadhupata Prabhu and Durtakarma Prabhu. He told them, you explore it, and with your scientific brain, you get a proper description by which a planetarium can be made. And that is what is now being done, the Temple of Vedic Planetarium in Mayapur. And I have sent out the videos to you some time back, to some of you at least, and some of you may have seen from other sources. So let us see how this wonderful planetarium turns out. Now, Sadhupata Prabhu says that perhaps this whole business of Bhumandala is describing the solar system. And the 7 oceans and he calculates that the sizes given will correspond in some way to the radius of the planets which are rotating around the earth. So maybe this is some way mapped to that. The 3D mapping from the solar system to a 2D frame will give circles of this size which they've described. Anyway, you can read that book. But as far as so that is something to satisfy someone's mind. Finally, the important thing the message which Srila Prabhupada has given is that everything material, you must not think that, oh, this is material and I reject it. If you are very Krishna conscious, you can connect everything material to Krishna, which works both ways. That means you must not be running after material things, thinking that, oh, this is for my enjoyment. Every material thing which we see and we think it's for our enjoyment, we should instead think, oh, this is Krishna's energy, that is Krishna's energy. And if we think of that, then our attitude towards these material things will be very, very nice. Because then we will not want to exploit it for our own purpose. But we'll see it belongs to Krishna and we'll look at it in a completely different way. And then we'll use it in the proper way. A child who uses his father's property according to his father's permission is authorized and is always happy. But suppose his father, even though the father's property is available to him, he takes it away and misuses it and spoils it, then his father will condemn him. So what we should do, understand from the Bhagavad Gita how to use everything in the material world. And we should use this in that way, in the proper legal way, following the regulative principles. In that case, Krishna will be pleased with us. He will allow us to use these things. They will not bewilder us. and we can live our life very happily, and at the end of life go back home, back to Godhead. So right from a young age, if we have this habit, we're going to lead a very blissful life. Thank you. Hare Krishna.